China's leadership is crucial at this time when we are seeing the world with the geopolitical tensions. I think this initiative announced by President Xi is commendable and we welcome. The global governance part, therefore, is very crucial. The global governance component is very important because what has happened is over the past 80 years, what the United Nations Secretary General is trying to do is to make the UN fit for purpose in the context. It can't be the same UN of 1945 or 1950 or 1960. It's like the UN in China. It can't be the UN in China in 1979 or 80 when it was a net aid provider. Now it is working with China on very other mainstream issues. So therefore, that is where the UN is changing, and this is what the Secretary General is trying to do, not only to make the UN fit for purpose, but a UN that embodies the aspiration of everyone in the world and to make sure that no one is left behind. The global governance part, therefore, is very crucial. We are seeing a major and grave risk of what I term as interlocking crises. We had a health crisis, which exposed the fragility of human health and health systems. It had an economic impact, a big economic impact, like the Great Depression of the 1930s. We are seeing major challenges with climate change, which is actually having an existentialist threat, whether it's been forest fires in Los Angeles or major floods in Europe and China. But we are seeing the massive climate change effect, which is happening across the world. We're having conflicts. It's not just the conflict in Ukraine and Gaza. We have 80 ongoing conflicts in the world. And then we have major issues with food insecurity. Nearly 900 million people go to bed hungry every night, and nearly 3 billion people across the world are experiencing some form of food insecurity. And the fifth big challenge is rising inequality or between the haves and the have-nots. So it's a complex set of issues that we are seeing. I think this initiative announced by President Xi is commendable and we welcome it. And you know that the UN Secretary General commended the initiative because what President Xi also said, I happened to be in Tianjin when this announcement was made. But first of all, I want to congratulate the government of China for hosting such an immensely successful conference, bringing together 27 countries. I think it was quite a landmark event, and I could see the level of camaraderie and friendship that emerged from that. The UN Secretary General was there, and I had the opportunity to accompany the UN Secretary General there. The UN Secretary General commended the initiative. And if you will recall, it was emphasized that the United Nations will be at the core of this very initiative. So I think it's a very welcome initiative. Anything that boosts and gives a boost to global governance, anything that gives a boost to the Sustainable Development Goals, anything that gives a boost to the aspirations of the people is most welcome. China's leadership is crucial at this time when we are seeing the world with the geopolitical tensions. China's role is very crucial of bringing people together, of bringing countries together. And I think their leadership that we witnessed this time at the SCO conference in Tianjin was very visible. I think it was a very good conference, but it also went to show how China's leadership is having an impact. China's leadership, not just in the geopolitical space or the multilateral space, in the climate space is going to be crucial. We are going towards COP30, as you know, in Brazil. We have challenges of some member states not wanting to adhere to the Paris Agreement or not wanting to participate in COP30. We are challenged by a major climate crisis, which is destructive and is an existentialist threat. We have to find member states, the leadership of countries coming together to look at a common aspiration. That common aspiration is the preservation of our very humanity. Our survival is at stake because of what we call the triple planetary crisis of climate change, air pollution, and biodiversity loss. So therefore, China's role in this is going to be absolutely crucial because also China is demonstrating what it is being able to do in terms of the green transition. And I think the green transition has great opportunities worldwide. So I think what we need to now see is how does the nation states come together to drive towards that common aspiration of shared development.